types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The defending NBA champion Celtics dealing with a devastating injury to their best player as they find themselves one game away from elimination in the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks. Jason Tatum carried off the court late in the fourth quarter of last night's loss. He'll undergo an MRI today. Game 5 is in Boston tomorrow night. Other East semis, Cavaliers guard Donovan Mitchell questionable for tonight's elimination game versus Indiana with an ankle injury. Warriors guard Steph Curry told Anscape's Mark J. Spears he does not expect to return from a hamstring injury in a must-win in Game 5 of the West semis against the Timberwolves tomorrow. The Vikings will become the first team in NFL history to play consecutive international games in different countries in 2025. They'll play the Steelers in Ireland September 28th. Then 1 week later, they get the Browns in London.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. Trio to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WCZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to another edition of the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of sports talk, goops, gaps, and everything else in between. Your phone calls as well at 256-576-97.7. And Joe, last night in sports, we came a little bit closer to 500. If you are a Braves fan, which me and you are, I would say you're more of a Braves fan than I am, but this team has really climbed out of the gutters and still just one win away. Just one win away. Do you think tonight's the night that we see the Braves reach 500 and push forward and just forget about the rocky start? Oh, that's funny. The rocky start.
Oh, look,
yeah.
Colorado's coming up once again. It's randomly going to make its way into the show at some point in time.
Even though they've only won 7 games.
Okay, so there is a glaring issue that this team has. I'm not one to say, okay, we need to go ahead and blow something up, like, oh, everything needs to be changed. But every once in a while, just one little tweak here and there is going to make massive changes. You can't fix Strider and when he's going to eventually come back. Mm-hmm. You don't want to rush Acuna with his rehab stint that he's about to start. There's some of those things that you're just like, well, that's the answer. No, you got to make some small adjustments here and there. There is one issue that I have for an hour from now at 10 o'clock that I think that the Braves definitely need to address, because if this continues to be a glaring issue, this is going to be the reason why the team doesn't win. Not because of A, B, or C, but because of one issue that I think is becoming a little bit bigger than everything else that we've been worrying about.
Well, you can look forward to more Braves baseball tonight. The Braves win yesterday in very fun fashion. 4-3 was the score. It wasn't as fun as my Yankees because they put up 11. They've been rocking and
was
rolling.
it fun seeing your guys' ankle go the wrong direction?
Yeah, I mean, not that, but outside
Literally
of
had like people throwing up because of how nasty it was. Don't Google it, by the way.
I'm not.
Do not look it up. I watched it this morning and I went, oh, like my wife's like, what the heck happened?
It's a tough blow right there.
Oh, it was nasty.
Regardless, there were a few more injuries that happened last night that might be a little bit more important for the time being. And some of those go into the NBA, of course. Jason Tatum, the biggest name to go down, at least when it comes to what is at stake. All right. The Celtics versus the Knicks. This was a game that I was following, and I stopped following it, and I keep doing this where all the Knicks are down. I'm not too much of an NBA fan, so I'm not going to waste too much of my time watching these games. When am I going to learn that this team just finds ways to come back every single time? And this one wasn't even as dramatic as the last two, but it felt so much more important because first off, Jason Tatum, of course, gets injured. I hope he gets a quick recovery. Maybe not before the series is out because I want to see the Knicks win it. But still, this team was down by 10 at the beginning, and it looked like the Celtics were going to just roll away with it. I mean, it was similar to the night before where the Celtics just took care of business. They looked like the team that they are when they handle a team that is not as good. They don't have the same talent. That's what I look at when I see the Knicks. Except for, well, the Knicks just keep coming back. And yesterday, they kept coming back. And whenever they were able to pull away in the second half of this, it looked like it was said and done. And by the time Jason Tatum went down, that's whenever it was just like the kill shot. I don't think that the Celtics could come back from this at this point, unless something magical can happen to them. It was to the point where this is a team that could still go down 3-1 with Jason Tatum and come back. I mean, this guy's an absolute workhorse. He had 42 points yesterday. But at the same time, you got guys like Jalen Brunson. You got guys like Mikal Bridges that are putting in the work. Bridges started off this series scoring a little around 10 points. And he's picked up the pace to help that workload that Jalen Brunson has had throughout this entire series, entire playoffs. And now you see a more well-rounded team. Now, do I think they can get past the Pacers? Oh, that's waiting to see because, of course, the Pacers were the team that took care of them last year as a 6th seed. And you know what's the craziest thing about this whole eastern side of the bracket is that these are the exact same teams we saw last year, except for it's all kind of unfolding in different order. Of course, the Celtics facing off against the Knicks, the Pacers facing off against the Cavs, and the Cavs really kind of falling apart, whereas the Pacers looking stronger than ever. It'll be a fun series whenever we see, the finale come around. Will it happen tomorrow night? I think it might for some teams, but I'm seeing the Pacers and the Knicks rematch coming in that conference finals. I'm very excited for it, Joe. You're probably more excited for the hockey, even though your Maple Leafs didn't play last night.
It has nothing to do with the Maple Leafs. I need my two teams to make it.
But the Oilers, on the other hand.
I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why I've been quiet for the last 5 minutes as you've been talking about this. I know nothing about what's going on in the NBA playoffs. I don't care anything about what's happening. There is nothing that could get me interested in the NBA playoffs. It's just, again, I have this belief, okay? You can sit and try to watch 65 things all at once and you get nothing out of any of them.
Yeah.
Or you can focus on the 1 or 2 or 3 little things and you get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
NBA never pops up on my screen when it comes to the idea of something enjoyable. Right now, as you've been talking, you can watch it on WZZN TV. As you're sitting here talking about this, I am over here searching and changing the channels away from ESPN because
all they're talking about is the NBA.
That's literally all they're talking about. Now, the NBA lottery, that is something that, yes, I do want to talk about to an extent here in just a moment.
No doubt.
But as far as the NBA playoffs are concerned, I don't care one single bit about it at all. The only reason I would care is if somebody from Huntsville or from North Alabama or something like that was just in the thing, and they're not just, they're on the team as a 12th man and they're wearing a suit over on the bench. No, I'm talking about if they were actually like playing in this and they're a massive part of it, I might care.
Well, then it seems like the NHL is perfect for you, Joe, because you are involved with it. You did make a bracket out. I don't know how that really came up, but you made a bracket
I made
out.
a bracket about it.
The Oilers are doing really well. They shut out the Golden Knights yesterday. It was interesting. It was Stuart Strickland's second shutout in playoffs, and the only times he ever gets a shutout in the postseason is in Game 4. So he's like a Game 4 legend when it comes down to it with the Oilers. And of course, you have a little bit in on that team because you think the Oilers and the Maple Leafs are going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Those
are my picks. Are Oilers, Leafs, and Leafs winning. That's my. This is the only reason I want this. I have zero dogs in the fight. Only team I want to see lose is Dallas. Well, that's it.
The other story,
that's all because of Cole Cece's brother. Yeah. Screw you. I'm still better.
But you also you brought something up.
I was fine until no. This is it.
You're good.
I was fine until the Havoc came up with this amazing video idea where they wanted to create a docuseries about the Havoc's run because we thought, you know what? Boom, this thing's going to be legit. We're going to get through the first series. We're going to have this really awesome series back at the VBC. Like we had this whole plan. I was over it. I was good. Then the videos come out and they start releasing the docuseries and I'm watching this and the whole time I'm like, sucks. This sucks. Okay. This is just angering me even more. So now look, the videos are tremendous. Okay. Seriously. It is such a great idea. And the things that the Havoc are doing at what you would, call single A hockey level is absolutely, we're talking NHL level stuff here. It's not just the intro. It's not just how they treat the fans. I mean, this is not ECHL stuff. This is not AHL. This is this massive thing when they're coming to this docuseries they're doing. And you can watch it, go over on their YouTubes, go to their Facebooks, all the X, all that. They have it all over there. They have 3 episodes that have dropped. It is so good. Dang it just pisses me off. And so now I'm all again looking at Cole Cece and how amazing he had to play, not just against us, but also through the whole playoffs. So look, we can't do anything for him, but dang it, his brother is playing for the Stars, and I want them to lose. Okay? That we can talk about.
Just imagine. It would be an interesting Thanksgiving for that family. If they end up going on to win the Stanley Cup. What a Thanksgiving conversation that would be.
No, because then Cole Cece's like, well, I only gave up like 3 goals through 3 rounds. His brother's like, really? Boom, put the Stanley Cup on the table. That would suck. It's like I won a championship inside of my league. And then it's like, yeah, but it's not the top league. No,
boom.
Sorry. Mama, can you put past the dressing real fast? I've got this big bowl right here that I'm just gonna eat my dressing out of, if you don't mind.
No, that holds the gravy, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, no. You literally just have the whole thing, mashed potatoes. You just make it mashed potatoes. You're dressing everything, just boom, right there on the table. Dad, I'm gonna need you to build a stronger table because if Cole's gonna sit there and break out his SPHL championship trophy, I think I got this one won, okay?
He's like, actually, I can help you out with it. He puts the Stanley Cup trophy under the table.
Absolutely.
So it can hold itself.
That is what's holding the table up is the Stanley Cup.
Because the Stanley Cup itself can detach from the actual bearings on the bottom of it. So that's what
No. Screw that, okay? This is the reason why I'm so involved. I don't like Winnipeg. I don't care anything about Winnipeg. And when I sit here, I don't even know where Winnipeg is in Canada, okay? I just don't. All right, I'm going. Oh, it's in the Western Conference? Okay, so it's in the West. That's all I'm having to think of.
I think they speak British. I'm not 100% sure.
So that's the reason why I don't know anything about Winnipeg. Don't care anything about it. I'm just not. All right, but I'm sitting and I'm going. I need the Stars to lose because every time I'm watching this game, I have to hear the name CC, and it just makes my blood boil just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the reason why I don't care about the NBA playoffs. There's not one single player in the league that already has me fired up as a random defenseman or whatever he is for the Dallas Stars. There's not a single player in the NBA that makes me think like that.
I love it. He's just his ears are burning right now because somebody is talking about him
I need his ears detached. I just need him to get lit up. Get that. Can we not do the cross face to the cross
check to the face?
Cross check to the face,
Come
like what
on.
we saw the other night.
Oh,
Just like boom, just right there.
I just feel like when I see that, I just feel my teeth going.
Oh, it was nasty.
It felt like we were going to get some of that though.
Oh, it was nasty.
I forget if it was I think it was the Oilers versus the Knights. It was getting a little dicey. No, yeah, it was. Yeah. It was getting a little dicey. I mean, people were tripping over the hill. The goalie for the Knights, they were hitting him with their skates and tripping him that way as well. I mean, it was getting a little bit dicey. It was the first fight that we've seen this postseason, which is kind of wild to me. On top of that, you brought up this, Joe. You said there is nobody from the area in the NBA finals right now, or the NBA
I just said if there, what I'm saying is
that would make you watch it a little bit.
The only reason I would consider watching it is if there was a guy that was, I mean, I'm talking about heavy rotation minutes, all that sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
Then we may consider this. May.
Well, that's interesting because in the NHL right now for the Capitals, even though they aren't doing so hot against the Hurricane, Nick Dowd, part of that team, used to go to Huntsville High. He's been represented in the Rocket City Awards. He is still on the Capitals team, and he's getting minutes. I mean, we're seeing him play. I don't think he scored a goal. I don't think he's done anything too exciting, but he is getting minutes, and he is helping contribute.
Think about him. He got to literally sit there and watch Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, for the last 5 years.
No, not just that, but I mean, be his teammate, all that. But also, like, he was there for that shot.
No doubt.
That's the coolest thing to me. Like, you could, everybody's like, oh, well, it's rigged and all that. I'm telling you, it is amazing that Alex O was able to do what he did. And it's also amazing to say that you were there. Again, watching the Game 7 docuseries that is on Amazon right now. I finally finished the Cubs one. It's hard to finish a docuseries when as you're driving because you continue to get phone calls and you're like, dang it, I swear. My wife called last night or yesterday morning, right when the rain delay hits in Game 7 of the World Series. So I'm sitting here just going, I want to hear this story. I want to hear about what happened in the locker rooms. I want to hear everything because Game 7, 2016, Cubs, Indians. It's, the rain delay. We're about to go into extra innings. That's where it was. My wife calls. There's 15 minutes left in this docuseries in this episode. And she calls and I'm like, I'm 20 minutes away from work. I could be able to finish this by the time I get there. I'm all emotional. I'm emotionally invested in all this. I'm going back through the emotions that I felt during that game. And she calls and I'm like, yes, absolutely. Oh, no, that sucks. Throwing up everywhere. Projectile, that sucks. Can I please get back to I don't want to say it.
Sucks, dude. Wow.
I don't want to say it.
I'm a terrible night for you.
He knows when I'm ready to get off the phone because I'm just like, yep. Absolutely. Like I start giving those answers. And she's like, he is so done with my conversation right now. So I'm doing all of that, but she keeps going and I'm going, I want to finish this. Yeah, it didn't happen. So I got to finish it today and I'm going through all of these emotions with it and I'm watching it and it's the same thing. All this, even with the Havoc thing, like Matthew goes, hey, look at what Reggie does at the beginning of the video. Dang it, Reggie. What the heck was up with the tongue thing? Like, come on, man. It was so weird. It was also funny. But I mean, he's
a hockey player. He's not an actor.
He is. But also I remember so many people with that Game 7 being, it was like, hey, here's my ticket. I've got it. Like, I'm not one of these guys. It's like, hey, I was at the Kick 6. Like, it's one of those. He's like, here's my ticket. Here's my family story. Here's my legacy. Here's everything. You always remember it. Think about him on the bench getting to watch that.
Yeah.
Always remember it.
Always will remember it. If you're just now hopping in on the show, welcome in. This is the Blitz, presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online. FlemingHSV.com is the place to find them. Fill out your free quote today, and remember that Fleming always shows up. And Joe, you talked about how when there's just a lot going on, you kind of want to focus on one thing. You really get to experience it a totally different way. It's a part of the reason why I stopped really working with YouTube TV and having 4 different games going at the same time. I like to experience one game at a time. Well, the NFL is going to sadly slash that from us yet again this year as we're getting some details from the scheduling trickling out. And then tomorrow, of course, the NFL teams will be dropping their schedules, which I'm excited for because we get to do a ranking of the best schedule drops. That's going to be very fun.
Do we have to do that?
Yes. But the NFL is going to go up against the college football playoffs again. Round 1, day 2. We got 3 college football playoff games, and we got a doubleheader for NFL on a Saturday. It's going to be December 20th. Make sure you guys remember, because you're going to need to have every single TV you have just in the same room to watch all of this football.
Well,
why do they keep doing this?
Well, okay, so this goes back to I could have 4 televisions going.
You could.
I could.
But this is football we're talking about.
It is football.
And these are big games we're talking about.
Depending on who's in the games. Now, I am assuming that these are going to be big playoff type matchups that you're going to need to pay attention to because it's late December.
Well, yeah.
And I assume that.
Think about it like this. It's going to be, hopefully not like this exactly, but it's going to be like the SMUs versus the Penn States, the Arizona States versus the Texas. It's going to be that round 1 type of
on
feel.
campus. It's going to be, those are going to be the fun games that you're going to sit and you're going to, after they're
Arizona
over with.
versus Texas wasn't on campus, but
No, Arizona State. That happened in, that actually happened at AT&T. No, it happened in Atlanta. It happened in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was because Arizona State got the at-large bid.
Yes,
which still kind of rigged feeling.
Maybe not. Trust me, there's a lot of rigged things that people are feeling
But
this morning.
Here's the thing, though. You're going to have these playoff games going on while you're also going to have Philadelphia versus Washington, which was a very entertaining series all the way throughout last NFL season.
On the surface, you do believe that game is going to be one that you're going to want to watch.
You're going to.
On the surface.
And then,
unless injuries happen, on the surface.
Green Bay versus Chicago.
Okay, I'm good on that one. I can go ahead and just let that one
You
go.
want to say this, and I know we talked about it yesterday. Chicago's still a team that hasn't had a 4,000-yard passer yet. This is the Chicago Bears of the future. This is Caleb Williams' legacy growing with this wide receiver core that's growing with this offensive line that grew all offseason long with just a smorgasbord of some veterans from different teams from all around the NFL. I'm very much looking forward to what the Bears could do. I like the Packers. I think the Packers are going to do great in the second season under the starter that they've got now, Jordan Love. So this is another game that I would love to watch. Plus, it's at Soldier Field, and thankfully, I don't have to be there.
Again, I could say that if I don't watch that game, I'm going to be okay.
Okay, but Philadelphia versus Washington, I have to watch.
Well, Philadelphia and Washington, because now you are a Commanders fan. So that is what I understand for you.
Grandfather did.
For myself, only way I'd pay attention to that second game is if it is for a fantasy football championship.
Understandable.
So I may have to pay attention.
It actually is around that time. Yeah, that
so
wouldn't need to.
That's probably the only reason.
We were talking some rigged stuff. It's been scattered here and there. And on top of that, we're also seeing Matthew and Brandon hopping in on the chats, which you guys can as well. WZZN TV is the place to find it. But Brandon wanted to throw in, what's your confidence level that the draft lottery is straight up rigged? And he says, I'm 99.99% convinced.
Well, you and a lot of people, because that is definitely a topic that I, once again, NBA related, not paying attention to it. When I woke up, I got woken up this morning at about 1 a.m. from a screaming baby. Happens. Took care of her.
It's a good
all
alarm.
that. Not complaining about the screaming baby because she's absolutely adorable and I love her, but struggle to get to sleep after that. So what do? You grab your phone, started looking at X, started going around, and I'm going, this is right up my alley because I love conspiracy theories. I am all about conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about this conspiracy theory. The NBA draft lottery took place last night. The Dallas Mavs, who had a 1.8% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick, is doing just that. When we come back, let's talk. Is there a conspiracy? Is this connected? Was there the frozen envelope? We'll talk about it next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, WZZN TV, and ESPN Winchester right here on the Blitz.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman, staying on the rather warm end of the spectrum as we head into the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the lower 60s. A partly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing consistently into the low and mid 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible, but it also looks like the vast majority of us are going to spend Wednesday afternoon dry, only dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. Much the same for your Thursday. A partly sunny sky, a couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible. And Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's time for me to take.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. We're talking controversy here on the Blitz. You guys can join us and talk a little bit of controversy with us. 256-576-97.7. You can also hop in on WZZN TV on YouTube, Facebook, X, and you can comment over there what controversy you're following when it comes to the sports world, because right now a lot of eyes are on the NBA as yet again it seems like it's the team that was just relevant, that looked like they were done being relevant, that is back to being relevant yet again. Joe,
Well, it's fun because the idea of the whole conspiracy theory thing is so interesting to me because obviously I love a good conspiracy theory.
What's your favorite one, real quick?
Oh, favorite one is
Don't say 9/11.
No.
Don't say that one.
No, I'm not that dumb, and that's also not true. So it was, trust me, again, going down conspiracy theories on this one. Man, I'm trying to think of what my favorite conspiracy theory that I've ever heard is. I absolutely love the one about, I've always wondered about, or not wondered, but thought about the JFK one. About it being an inside job.
There are multiple shooters.
The whole multiple
angle,
shooters thing. The idea of the multiple shooters, the JFK part, the part of the reason why it happened and the connections of everything. All of that's always been interesting to me because, quite frankly, that one actually has a little bit of, I won't say makes a little bit more sense.
Well, it came out with something on X a while back that was just like, oh, this is good. Some files came out and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, like, oh, this is the way it was supposed to be. No, and I think that's the one that I always sit and think about. Like, if I see anything about JFK conspiracy, I'm like, all right, let's hear this one out.
Like a little pig.
Let me just hear this one out. I just want to know, like, okay, is this something new? Is this something different? It also doesn't hurt that on Hulu, there's a series that James Franco was in, 11/22/63.
The interview, yeah.
And do what?
The interview.
No, not that one. Definitely not that one. It's 11/22/63 is actually a Stephen King novel, which was crazy to me because I didn't know it at the time.
Gotcha.
But it goes down the idea of somebody from present day going back and trying to stop the assassination and what would have happened to the world if it would have stopped.
Okay, that'd be interesting.
It's a Stephen King novel, and it is very detailed, very interesting, and it is really, really good. So that kind of also got me into
as Stephen King does. But Joe, sorry, I got you off.
You
on
did.
a little tangent.
I told you I
It's
love conspiracies.
What we do here. But yeah, back to the NBA. Joe, why is this such a big deal?
Well,
it's not. Is this the first time that we've seen this happen?
Well, no, it is not the first time that we've seen it happen. It doesn't happen very often. In fact, the Mavs are actually the fourth team in NBA history with the fewest percentage odds to actually make it and get the number one overall pick. You have three teams in front of them that did it with lesser odds. The Bulls in 2008. With 1.7%, the Cavs in 2014, that was a Kyrie Irving one, I believe. That was 1.7% chance as well. And then the 1993 Orlando Magic one, when they had a 1.52% chance to get the number one overall pick, and they end up doing it. So this isn't something that has never happened. It's very rare.
So I'm still not 100% understanding the whole lottery that they do in the NBA.
Basically, the idea is,
I get that it's supposed to equal out the playing field, at least have a chance for that.
The whole idea of it is, and it may have actually turned digital now, but the whole theory of this is that each spot that you're supposed to be in the lottery itself, you're supposed to be allotted a certain number of quote unquote balls.
Yeah.
Okay. And I say it because I'm saying it just because I don't think there's actually an actual, like, well, let's rotate this thing out. Like, all right, Meredith, be ready.
Bingo.
That's right. Like, it's not one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not up here at your county church. Like, it's not one of those.
It's not like Corlejos.
All right, Sister Margaret, be ready back there. I'd see you talking. You got upset last week when you didn't hear B9. I'm telling you.
Bingo at Corlejos on Mondays, guys. Show up.
So it is. I'm sitting and I'm thinking it like this. So, like, if you are the 11 team, then you get X amount of balls. If you're the number 10 team, you get the X amount of balls.
I see.
And so what happens is that's how the lottery happens. So if you are the team with the worst odds, or I think it's the top 3 teams now with the worst odds, you get the most amount of balls in the draft lottery for them to pick out of.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason. That's the whole idea.
And this stuff dates back. I mean, you said it, Joe. I mean, it gets back there a while. And even Brandon's reminiscing on certain things. 1985, of course, Patrick Ewing for the New York Knicks. That was one right there that, like, kind of started it all. But it continued on throughout the 2000s. And you said it, 2008. Derrick Rose, Chicago Bulls, comes off of that win, that huge national title game with the Memphis Tigers at the time.
It was Memphis Tigers. That was the one that they lost to Kansas. Yep. Yeah, that Memphis should have won.
2016, yes. Ben Simmons, the Philadelphia 76ers, Zion Williamson going to the Pelicans, 2019.
Okay, so far, all of these picks have turned out horribly wrong.
They haven't
horribly. It's just injuries.
It hasn't really changed. Even Derrick Rose, it hasn't really changed the rhetoric of these franchises. Now, the one that did,
D Rose was one that was the closest the Bulls have ever gotten to being a championship contender, and arguably you could even say, if it wasn't for LeBron and the Miami Heat, the Bulls may have won a championship with D Rose.
Which that goes back to the 2003 controversy with the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James. But most recent one, of course, possibly and most likely Cooper Flagg going to the Dallas Mavericks, who, if you guys, were living under a rock or something, they got rid of the best player they've had since Dirk Nowitzki just last year.
And so the conspiracy theory, if you're wondering what this is, the conspiracy theory behind this is that the NBA rigged it so that they could get Luka into the biggest team in the biggest market so that they could promote the sport since they are having bad ratings. And in turn, there was like a backdoor deal that the Mavs would get the number 1 overall pick.
It's like selling your soul there.
That's the conspiracy.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I want to explain this. They're like, well, what's the conspiracy behind this? The conspiracy is that the Mavs only agreed to trade Luka to get him into LA so that they could help the league grow when it comes to people paying attention to the NBA more, so that more people be watching the game altogether. And then in turn, the league is going to give the Mavs the number 1 overall pick, and if they so choose, Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, and again, this is the Mavs that went to the finals last year, lost to the Celtics. I mean, this was a solid team, and although they didn't start out this year as amazing as they have in the past, I mean, this is still a competitive team in a big market. So that they can't just go on and have the Dallas Mavericks suck for a few years. So why not? Give them the number 1 pick, give them Cooper Flagg, and maybe turn that thing around right then and there and maybe get them to the finals in the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, and the whole idea behind this is one, look at all the names that you said. I mean, outside of D Rose, which he was good until he got injured. And even now look, heck, up until like 2 years ago, I think he was still playing in the NBA, serviceable guy off the bench, but he was never that electric player like he was when he went to Chicago. Outside of that, it's not like any of the players that have been drafted outside of, in the past 20 years, outside of LeBron, has been one that you go, okay, this actually paid off for us. This really kind of benefited us.
Even the Spurs have slowly but surely struggled with
and they have 2 amazing top round draft picks from the past 2 years.
Yeah. So I'm interested in it. I'm interested to see where it goes, but I'm more interested to think a little bit more about professional sports. And although right now our eyes are set on the NBA, what is the most controversial when it comes to rigged professional sports? It's not even professional. This could even go to college sports, even though you could also throw that into the professional mark.
Well, and I think that a lot of us will always argue that, referees play into it and blah, 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 blah. But the idea is that everybody wants to say X is rigged. Everybody, it doesn't matter what sport is happening at what time of year, X is rigged. We talked about it last segment. Do you know how many people complained about Alex O scoring that goal because they wanted to say that the NHL was rigged so that he could? Yes.
I had no idea.
Because we favor Russia so much. Let's have a Russian be the one that has this record. Yes. That's what it is. We're in such, this so great that no. Like, that doesn't make any sense. If anything, you would want like a Sidney Crosby to be the one that broke the record. Yeah. Okay. Like, you would want one of those guys, this guy that everybody loves to be the one that actually gets it. Okay. Like, that's it.
Said he get like the Frankenstein of hockey, which he's a great player.
Oh, he's amazing.
I think he was also on the cover of NHL 09 or something like that. That just shows how old he is.
But we all want to say everything is rigged. We all wanted to say that the college basketball playoffs were rigged. We all wanted to say that, at some point in time, the college football playoffs themselves where, oh, look, they're doing this because they want this to happen. They're doing this because they want that to happen. Like, we all say it's rigged. But if you had to pick one, and I'm just saying just one.
It was 07.
We can all argue and say that there's reasons why we would think that X is rigged. If you had to pick one that you think is really, truly rigged, if we're going down this conspiracy theory idea, which one would it be and why? That's what I'm curious about, because we all want to argue about a simple conspiracy, about a simple league and something that X, Y, Z has happened, all of that. Which one out of all the different sports that we sit and watch on a daily basis can you actually say that you believe in wholeheartedly is rigged?
Can we answer which ones we think are the least rigged? And also, does this include college sports as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't care. I mean, look, now, if you were talking about your 8U travel team over here, okay, yeah, there probably is some rigging in that. All right, there probably really is, because, Jimmy needs a scholarship, and obviously winning that 8U tournament's really going to get it for him. But, I just need, I'm curious about this now, because we want to argue that every single thing is rigged. Oh, it's just rigged. They just want Patrick Mahomes to be in the Super Bowl once again. We hear it all the time. So if you had to actually make the argument that one of the leagues, college, pro, whatever it is actually rigged, which one would it be? 256-576-4977 as we continue on this. Was it Thursday, Tuesday?
I think it's a Tuesday. I thought it was a Wednesday before the show started, but it's a Tuesday.
All right, it's Tuesday on the Blitz, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, WZZN TV, and ESPN Winchester.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The PGA Championship tees off on Thursday at the Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte. Scotty Scheffler is a 4-1 favorite. Rory McIlroy plus 475. Bryson DeChambeau is 14-1. Will there be a hole in one of the tournament? Yes, the underdog at plus 135. No, the favorite at minus 190. Atlanta Braves today, a $2.25 favorite over the Nationals at Truist Park, plus 185. 8.5 under the total. Spencer Schwallenbach for the Braves. Michael Soraka for the Nationals. Yesterday, the Braves with a walk-off win in the ninth inning. They hand the Nationals their sixth consecutive loss. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. If any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000, 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flow Supreme Air. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flow tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flow, think fun for everyone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-70s. We're also going to be talking about the chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be on the stronger end of the spectrum, but the overall threat for severe weather remains somewhat low. Temperatures only dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. We are going to be much warmer. It looks like temperatures going to consistently climb into the low and mid-80s. A couple of isolated showers, but the vast majority of us going to stay dry. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm all in my bag, as hard as it get. I do not stop powder. I might take a sip. I might hit the bluff, but I'm liable to trip. I ain't popping no pill, but you do as you wish.
Hello and welcome back to the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and as well as ESPN Winchester, WZZN TV. We're talking conspiracies and continuing on the conversation. Phone lines open to you as well to join in 256-576-4977. It's okay, Joe. I know you're doing the research thing that we do every single day. It's all right. It even continues into the shows. And on top of that, you guys can do some research. Research 977ESPN.com and find the big zone deals and start saving money at some of the best food joints, play places, all of that good stuff here in the Tennessee Valley, including Carrabba's Italian Grill, Corlejos Mexican Grill. On top of that, we got Bad Daddy's, we got Full Moon, and, well, we got a lot of golf courses as well as Flow Supreme Air, which the spot's going again. That means, well, Flow is back on big zone deals. Joe, I would say college basketball is in this conversation as well, all right? I feel like basketball out of all the sports, and we're not 100% saying this stuff is rigged, but if it was rigged, I would say college basketball is similar to the NBA where you can manipulate some of these games, where you can go without calling a certain play and, it's fine. It looked like it was a push-off, but it's not. Or it looked like it was a travel, but it was not. On top of that, whenever teams get into the big dance, there are so many teams that it is very difficult to control every little outcome. But I will say this. Whenever there is the bubble teams like the North Carolinas that make it in, and, well, one of their dudes is a part of the committee to get the teams in, that's whenever I start thinking something is up. Because, of course, a lot of people were a little bit frustrated that the Tar Heels made it into the big dance, even though this team was actually tragic all the way throughout this season. They just did not look like North Carolina, the team that we've seen for the last decade, 2 decades, and on. So I'll say college basketball could also be up there. But I feel like the one that I think might be the most rigged is actually the NBA. And it's the one that we were talking about. And I wanted to put a spin on this and say that, oh, well, the NFL, Patrick Mahomes got a lot of, the quarterbacks, if you're a better quarterback, you get the calls. But the NBA, there's just so many ways that we could see this going in the way of the favored teams, the bigger markets. On top of that, you get into some of these gritty games during the actual postseason, and yes, there's physicality, but it's still not to the level where you can really say like, oh, this is it. You could pay LeBron to go down, all right? Even though I don't think he needs any more money, you could tell him, hey, you've done enough, man.
Look, there's a lot more. There's a lot of athletes that make way more from their endorsement deals than they actually make from their pay in the NBA or in Major League Baseball. Like, go and look at the discrepancy between what Shohei Ohtani makes in endorsements compared to what he actually makes in Major League Baseball. Yeah. And that's like this season, especially. So that happens. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, it's like the whole conspiracy theory last night, NBA draft, lottery, the fact that the Mavs just got the number 1 overall pick, 1.8% chance after just trading Luka to the, arguably the most notable franchise in all of sports. You could argue that with the LA Lakers. And so this idea is that this is something that was rigged, and this is the reason why. It's like, oh, hey, we're doing the draft lottery, but we're just going to go ahead and put the Mavs right there, and now we're going from number 2 down. So there's a whole thought of that as we're talking about it. That's where this question comes up of like, look, we all want to say our sport that we watch is rigged. Which one, if you had to pick one, do you say is rigged, quote unquote, the most, or is the one that you would say is rigged? Now, your argument with the NBA actually is justified because we literally found out years ago that it was rigged. Like, we found that out. There was a referee that literally went to prison for this.
Oh, geez.
So trust me, because one of the most notable and honestly, one thing that got me kind of really caring about the NBA at one point in time after Jordan was the Sacramento Kings and the LA Lakers. Like, I had friends that were massive Laker fans, and I hated LA because everybody wanted to say that Kobe was the next Jordan and they had all this. Now, I've grown to love Kobe Bryant's work ethic and everything that happened after it, but at the time, loathed him.
Yeah.
So I was all in on the Kings. And I want to say was it Madonna? Was it Donahue or something like that? I forget what his name was. No, not Donahue. That's an automotive place. And so it was that literally, like, he was point shaving so that, so that literally happened. So that one I get. I'm not somebody that wants to say that I never think that anything is rigged when it comes to it, because there is way, way too many people that would have to be involved for this. And somebody is going to get pissed off and tell the story.
Yeah. And we've seen
we've
seen it though in the past with the NFL players even coming out with their own stories. And obviously there were no name players, but regardless, they came out with these certain stories that the NFL is rigged. I believe it was a Seahawk player that came out with it. But on top of that, I mean, you could believe those, or you could believe the hundreds of people that are still a part of the NFL, still giving us a great show every single weekend. But then there's also Deflategate and the controversies around certain teams. Do we put those into the same category? But they were held accountable, so maybe it was just a similar controversial to, I would say, the Astros back in 2017.
No, that was literally cheating. Like, that wasn't rigged. They were cheating. I mean, that was it. And it was just one team.
So there's a fine line there.
Well, no, it's different because what we're thinking of, and I think with this conversation has to do with from the top down. Like, did Adam Silver sit here and go, all right, guys, we're about to do the lottery. You know, the agreement that we made with the Mavs so that they would make the trade of Luka. We trade them one white boy for the next. This is what we're going to do.
All they have is white boys.
They're
stud players. They're always white boys in Dallas. I don't know what that is.
So let's go ahead. Let's put them up here at the top. All right, now let's start this lottery process. Okay. All right. So this is like that. That's what I'm talking about. Not a rogue referee that does something, not an official like it was. Like Brandon says, the pick play versus Clemson was rigged. Vegas made a ton of money on that. I don't think that was rigged. I think that what it was a referee that was in a position that honestly it was a rule in a play that he probably hadn't seen as much and as often and didn't call it. Like, that's what it is. A lot of times there's like the intent of the rule, and maybe it was to him, the intent was different. It goes, what was it, a couple of weeks ago with the Max Fried no-hitter? Like it was, oh, this is BS. I can't believe they changed this. Well, when you actually look at the play multiple ways, it wasn't the Rays trying to screw over the Yankees. Yeah. It was the simple fact that the guy that had the no-hitter wasn't trying to cover the bag in time. Like, that's the reason he was given a hit. So even if, I believe it was Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt was the one that was trying to make the play. Even if he makes the catch, there's nobody at first to catch the ball. Like, that's not a referee or an official or a stat guy at the top that's trying to screw over your team. You just got to look at it that way. So I'm not one that's going to say, I don't think that Adam Silver went over, and actually this is what we did is the Mavs were actually at 9. They somehow got there, but what we did is I told the guy at the top, we're putting a yellow dot on the card, so make sure you pull that one. No, man, we didn't do that. Do you know how hard it is to try to rig something?
And get away with it.
I mean, seriously. Like, do you realize how many people have to be involved for you to rig up something? Like, it's not just all right, it's me, it's John, and it's that person. We are going to rig the NFL championship. This is what we're doing, okay? Do you really think that at some point in time, the NFL got the 49ers and the Chiefs together and they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We want the 49ers to get up by a certain amount. Then we want you guys to look like absolute fools for the last quarter, okay? That's what we want you to do. Now, do all of you guys know the playoffs and how we go about it when we talk about overtime? Do y'all know how this works? George Kittle, put your hand down. Because you don't. This is what you're going to say. We didn't know that you could lose that way. We thought we was going to play a whole quarter. Everybody on board for that? Brock Purdy, shut your mouth. Put your hand down. We all on board for this, right?
Brock Purdy's like, no, I didn't know this is what I signed up for.
No. It's the first team that scores a touchdown. If you score a touchdown, anyway, hey, Brock, shut your mouth.
You want a recap of last year whenever you were playing the Eagles in the NFC final or championship game?
Hey, mister, I'm only getting paid $150 every single week because I'm Mr. Irrelevant. You want that big contract in a few years?
Yeah.
You better shut your mouth.
Sit down. Throw the ball if you gotta.
That's right.
And to the other team if you really need to.
George Kittle, you're a wrestling fan. You know how this works.
Oh.
We all going to say we didn't know how overtime worked. All right? Everybody on board. All right, 1, 2, 3. Runners up. Let's go. Come on. Really?
We're done with the rig.
Really?
Talk. We're done with it. Unless you guys want to hop in.
Major news coming from ESPN when we come back.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beams likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The PGA Championship tees off on Thursday at the Quail Hollow Club in Charlotte. Scotty Scheffler is a 4-1 favorite. Rory McIlroy plus 475. Bryson DeChambeau is 14-1. Will there be a hole-in-one of the tournament? Yes, the underdog at plus 135. No, the favorite at minus 190. The Atlanta Braves today, a $2.25 favorite over the Nationals at Truist Park, plus 185. 8.5 under the total. Spencer Schwallenbach for the Braves. Michael Soraka for the Nationals. Yesterday, the Braves with a walk-off win in the ninth inning. They hand the Nationals their 6th consecutive loss. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman, staying on the rather warm end of the spectrum as we head into the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the lower 60s. A partly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing consistently into the low and mid 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible, but it also looks like the vast majority of us are going to spend Wednesday afternoon dry, only dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. Much the same for your Thursday. A partly sunny sky, a couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, Sean Abraham. You can watch on WZZN TV as well as the Blitz is going on this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, you can watch all the shows over there. Every
You
single
absolutely can.
local program, Tom Abraham Show, The Drive, as well as Talk Ball and the Blitz, all on WZZN TV. And if you miss an episode like the conversation that Drew and Scott had at the very beginning, their own opinions on the NBA lottery, then you can just go back and watch that over on WZZN TV. It's one of the newest live streams, so you'll be finding it pretty quickly.
Yeah, so it is. So you can go and watch that there. Obviously, the WZZN TV is where you can get in on the chat as well. Phone lines are also always open to you at 256-576-977, as well as the always brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Well, that was signed up a little bit weird.
Yeah.
You kind of threw that one up to me a
Yeah, I
little.
did.
Yeah, it was like a bad alley-oop. But yeah, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, And PC problems. I need some help with that.
Yeah, you definitely need, because that's a you issue.
Either way, look
is a you
up
issue.
Fleming Roofing and Restoration for all of your roofing needs. You guys can get a free quote today, and remember that they show up. Yeah, Joe, I am having a crazy PC problem right now. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think I'm learning a thing or two about Windows and drivers and CPU and RAM and all of this jazz. But I just cannot figure it out. I'm trying to get it all set up, but to no avail. That's just how it is.
No, look, and yeah, John's opened the PC up. I mean, he gets this thing. It's supposed to be really, really good, working great.
It's powerful. It's so powerful.
And John's messed it up, and so
no, I didn't mess it up. I can't get the updates in it.
I'm going to say that you did something.
No, I think in the transaction, I think the transition from somebody else's house to my house, maybe something came loose.
No,
I've tried to wiggle it around and put it back. I can take things apart and put them together.
Well,
I can't get into a computer though and figure out what's wrong, why an update won't boot for me.
There is a company that Steve Moulton knows very well that has helped us out numerous times.
Dave!
He's actually on his way right now to go set up at Baumhauer's, because that's where Tom is going to be broadcasting from starting at noon. And so that's something that I promise you, Steve can get you hooked up. You get the computer fixed. You'll be good.
I just need a hard reset at this point.
Yes.
I don't even know if I can get into my other Windows 10 account because I tried to install Windows 11. This is like some old man talk right here. What is this? I can't see through this Windows.
Why don't this XP work anymore?
But now it's to the point where I can't even get into my Windows 10 and it won't even bring up the ID button or the login button to
Grandpa,
get in.
when's the last time you updated this? What are you running? I don't know. It's been good. I mean, it's Windows 95. It's the 95th version of this, isn't it?
Windows Vista.
I mean, so yeah, John's having major issues. A lot of people have major issues when it comes to how much you're spending on cable. We talk about it a lot. Obviously, I have my little workarounds that we have discussed.
Call in
times.
256-576.
Had somebody call in yesterday. He's like, "Hey man, you guys were talking about that thing. Like, what do you? How do you?
You talked about it recently again, and you got calls on it?
No. Tom was going through trying to figure out all the reasons why I shouldn't use it. After he sat there and talked for 35 minutes about how much money he's spending just so he can watch the Braves play. And I'm like, dude, I don't got that issue.
Did you see how much it costs to watch every single NFL game this year?
Yes.
Golly, it's over. I think it's over $1,400.
Yes. So there's a reason why I'm like, look, if you're going to charge me this amount and I can find a workaround, you're darn right I'm going to find a workaround.
The comments were diabolical. It was like, no, I'm not going to spend this much money. I'm just going to find it on a site and watch every single game that I want.
See, and so this is where that's what he was doing, is going down this. Oh, this is the reason why you shouldn't do this. The internet says you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, that's great. When I go home tonight and 6:05 happens, guess what I do? I turn on my television, I go to the app, boom, there's the Braves game, and I get to watch it, and I don't get to sit here and have to complain about it.
Is it ethical? No. But is it free? No, it's not free either.
Sticking it to the man.
But it's a better deal. That's what it is.
So a lot of people want to complain about it, and part of the reason is because if you want to watch a game on ESPN, ESPN2, SEC Network, and even ABC at times, you do not have the ability to do that unless you have a TV provider. So like you can't just get ESPN Plus and go, hey, I've got ESPN Plus. This should give me all of the networks. Like this should give me everything. You're right. It should.
Where's Alabama and Georgia?
That's right. Why aren't I getting this on ABC? The reason for it is because ESPN and Disney have this massive deal with all cable providers that the only way that you can unlock certain channels is by signing into your TV provider, meaning you have to have a TV provider.
Oh, wait. I thought Hulu allowed you to watch ESPN the same way that Disney allows you to watch ESPN on their streaming service.
Well, you can watch an ESPN broadcast, but it's going to possibly be like, San Domingo State versus Hulu College. Like it's going to be something like that.
Hulu's going against Hulu's Got Live Sports.
It's exactly it. Yeah, it's that old commercial. So yes, you can. And there's, they always have like their free games and all this other stuff. So you get certain things, but if your team is playing on ESPN, you cannot watch it unless you sign in. So the biggest issue that a lot of people have, and quite frankly, this was always my issue, is the only reason I even had cable to begin with was because of ESPN, because I had to have it.
Mhm.
So like all the shows my wife and I watch, we're not going to watch them in live time anyway. So they get put up on their channels and I can watch it that way. Like, all right, no problem. Oh, look, this show on NBC is going live. Guess what? They also drop it at the exact same time on their app and I can just watch it right there. So the whole idea has been a lot of people had to purchase cable or streaming services, YouTube TV, Direct TV, Stream, all of those, just so that they could get access to the ESPN channel so they could watch college football, college basketball, the NFL, those types of things. Well, ESPN just did a presentation this morning about their new app. Now, it's going to be most likely the same app that you already use for all of your news and everything like that. It's just there's going to be another section to it that you can go to, and you can now access all of their products direct to your phone, direct to your television. You don't have to go through a cable provider.
Oh,
you won't have to go through it.
Oh, this is a game changer,
No,
Joe.
this is a massive game changer.
Hopefully it's not in the form of an update that I got to get on my Windows 10 computer because that doesn't work. But regardless,
No, if you get yours to work, you could watch it on there.
Oh my god!
I mean, you could absolutely watch it on there.
I don't need cable anymore.
You get yourself another monitor. You have it on one monitor. You have your video game on the other monitor. Boom, you're good to go.
Too many monitors. That's gluttony right there. I
This-
don't do that.
This is a massive game changer to everything when this goes live. Now, they didn't announce when this was actually going to go live, but just like everything else, there's going to be tiers. There's going to be packages and bundles. So like they said that the initial plan, the ESPN, what they're calling ESPN Unlimited plan, is going to be $30 a month. So think about this. Going back to the Tom conversation the other day. Bally, now FanDuel, charges you $30 a month just so that you can get your regional channel where you could possibly watch the Preds, the Grizzlies,
possibly
the Hawks. Like you can watch that. But the only way to watch the Braves is still through the cable provider that you then have to go and pay for a certain bundle that allows you the opportunity to then pay for regional coverage on that, which again, hundreds of dollars. ESPN is going to charge you $30 a month for all of their channels. SEC, ESPN, ESPN2, ACC Network, ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, ESPNU, all of those, and as well as the ABC stuff. Whenever games are on ABC, you can go to the app and you can watch it right there. You don't have to do it that way. You get ESPN3, ESPN Plus, all of the extras. You get every single bit of it. No, real stuff. And so it was all of that plus on demand. That's the one thing that our app that John and I both use doesn't have, is you don't have the on demand feature, which for the amount of money we're spending, which is literally nothing, I'm okay with that.
Not literally.
No,
but compared to some of these
everything else,
cable
absolutely.
providers,
But now you get the on demand, which is probably my biggest hang up whenever I don't watch a game live or I'm needing to go back and rewatch a game. I kind of have to go to YouTube or find all these other ways to be able to do it. And that could be a problem. But it's going to be $30 a month, or you can pay for $300 for an entire year. Then you do the math on that. And you see how much money you would save if you do this. They're also going to do what they do with everything else with their ESPN Plus, is there's going to be a bundle. You get ESPN, you get the ESPN Plus, you get Hulu, all of that, for like $36. Well, heck, I'm already paying $16 or whatever for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. So like you start seeing all this is, I am telling you, this is literally about to be the most massive shift in cable viewing that you will ever see in sports. Will be this moment. When this thing goes live, this will be it. Because now people will start killing all of their services. Because again, if your wife wants to be able to watch The Bachelor, okay, I can't say your wife because we know how many Havoc players that also watch The Bachelor. But you see what I'm saying?
If your Havoc player wants to watch The Bachelor.
If your Havoc player husband or boyfriend wants to watch The Bachelor, they can now do it just on Hulu. Like all you can do is like right there, every bit of it. So then you get rid of all your cable. You don't need any of that stuff anymore. The only way then was you would be trying to figure out, how do I want to do the part where I can watch the regional channels?
So do you think that this is worth it more than YouTube TV would be?
Oh, 1,000%.
I mean, YouTube TV sits up to, I think it's around $79 a month.
Yeah, but YouTube TV also then means you also have to pay for the next tier of services so that you can then get your regionals. And they also, there's certain
Sunday
channels.
Pass.
See, the reason why I hopped around so much with all the different streaming services was because, an NFL network would stop having an agreement with Fubo or whatever it is. But they would have an agreement with, the YouTube TV. Well, YouTube TV then wouldn't have an agreement with, say, MLB Network. Well, but Fubo had the agreement with it. So you're like jumping around trying to figure out which service that you do and don't want. So like with Fubo, I had that, which was amazing service outside of 1 month out of the year. Can you guess what month that is? Good job.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
March.
Oh, madness.
Because they don't have an agreement with TBS properties. So no TBS, TNT, none of that. You can watch the TBS games, but you couldn't watch TBS, TNT, or True. So I was like, well, that just screws me over. So I have to figure out a way to do that. So that's what you're doing. You're hopping around all of these. So then I found the service you and I use, and you don't have to do any of that. But the other thing is I don't get anything on demand. So if I miss a game, I just miss it, or I'm going to have to go back and find it online somewhere so I could watch it that way. Whereas this adds on-demand stuff and all this, I'm telling you, I have said for years, the only reason I ever had cable was for all the ESPN properties because you had to. The moment this goes live, which they didn't announce when it was going to go live, the moment this goes live, I promise you, watch YouTube TV stocks, watch DirecTV stocks, watch all of that stuff where people are going to be ending their contracts with those providers.
It's interesting to see this all shift so quickly. It got to a point at one time when I thought that, cable was going to go away and then it was going to go into a different form of cable where it's just like YouTube TV, where it just kind of shifts to a subscription base that's a little bit less. And then it's the same thing practically. But now it's getting to a point where it's just turning into separate applications that you're going to be able to watch separate sports on until they're all combined again into yet another cable subscription.
Well, look, my wife and I were talking about this yesterday. Even when we went to the hospital with the baby being born, we took our Fire Stick with us. Like I was like, I am now on this whole belief that a lot of things in life are, not extinct, but they don't have a purpose the same way that they used to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have always believed this, and I continue to believe this, that when it comes to radio, sports talk radio and news radio are the two avenues that will never go away. Because if you live in Huntsville, Alabama, you can't turn on Fox News or you can't turn on CNN and hear about what's going on in Huntsville, Alabama. If you are live in Huntsville, Alabama, and you want to know about what's happening with the Havoc or the Huntsville Panthers, or you want to know what's happening with your high school football team, you're not going to be able to turn on ESPN's thing, even though there is, and be able to listen to what's happening.
You're not going to hear a lot of people just out of nowhere bring up Nick Dowd within this Stanley Cup playoffs.
You're not going, you don't have the ability to turn on ESPN and listen to them want to talk about Auburn and Alabama if there's no storyline that they think the entire nation cares about. But music, on the other hand, dude, I rarely listen to music radio.
The only time I do, look, I don't want to dog any of the stations.
I know we're doing
around
this
here.
over a frequency right now, but we're also on a sports talk station. I just said is one of the things that never dies because you want your local flavor.
And also, we're always growing, of course, the application.
Okay, stop going into political. Stop going into you're going into your advertising thing.
No.
Yes. What I'm saying is
you can download our apps and listen to us anywhere as well.
But what I'm saying
So
is
you can always have your Huntsville sports talk.
If I want to listen to a song, I turn on my Spotify. I turn on my Amazon Music. I turn on that. I don't turn the radio on.
Unless I'm being lazy and I don't want to plug in like my Bluetooth connector, and I've got an older car. Okay. Then I'm going to just like switch the channel over to what is it, 104.3? 104.3. I'll do that.
No, that's anyways.
But regardless, like it's just because that's what I can listen to. Like that at the time, I'm just too lazy to switch anything on, and I get the same Sabrina Carpenter song over and over again. Thankfully, I'm a fan of Sabrina, so I'll listen to it.
But
it's boring.
What I'm saying is that if I'm wanting to, because right now I'm getting my playlist together for when I just told you the other day, cleaned out the garage.
Yep.
The gym is ready to
Let's
go.
go.
Now I need to update the playlist. So I start going through all this. I'm not going to, if I wanted to listen to, say, a Papa Roach Last Resort, which came on my Spotify earlier because I was going through 2000s rock, I'm not going to be able to just turn on the radio and hear that. I go to Spotify.
We're in the age, Joe, of instant satisfaction.
But
all right?
see, that's
we
where-
want our money and we want it now. We want our order to be perfect.
Yeah.
We want our music to be what we want to listen to. We have the choice to pick.
Look, and if my son or daughter right now wants to watch The Grinch, normally back 10 years ago, I'd be like, okay, we got to wait till November 28th, whenever all the Disney stuff starts, whenever they start putting out all the Christmas stuff or on NBC Peacock, like you got to do that. No, I go to Prime, click on it, boom, it's right there. Like I do it. We're in that age now where we have that ability. Why shouldn't we have this ability when it comes to being able to watch our sports? Why do I need to pay $300 and $400 for cable over the course of 3 or 4 months just because I want to watch one network? Do I really care about what's going on when it comes to the other 722 channels that are offered to me? No, I care about 10. That's all I care about.
I think
so. Let me buy the 10.
We're slowly but surely shifting into that type of world. So this conversation's probably got you cleaning out your subscriptions that you got towards, I don't know, your cable provider. The Auburn Tigers, on the other hand, are just cleaning out SEC teams like it's nobody's business. They did it against the South
baseball,
Carolina
right? We're not talking
Gamecocks.
football. Because,
No. But we might jump into some football conversation.
No, I don't want to get pissed.
Mostly baseball
Yeah.
with Ike Jones from the War Report, because we got to hop into a break. When we get back, some sports talk coming your way here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV. Ike Jones up next.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the Big Zone Deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, "We love what we do, and it shows." Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Attention, attention, may I have the camp's attention?
Your home of the college football playoffs.
Playoffs?
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Playoffs? Playoffs?
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop.
Coming up here in just a little bit at noon, Tom Abraham show is going to be broadcasting live from Baumhauer's. Don't forget also tonight, Rocket City Trash Pandas start their 6-game series with Pensacola, where they are down in Pensacola. Beautiful stadium, by the way. If you've never seen what it looks like, that place is gorgeous.
Right next to the water.
Yes. Yes, you can listen to that over on Talk Radio, WZZN TV. First pitch is going to be at 6:05 down on the coast.
And then the Braves looking to get 500 tonight against the Nationals, which should be very interesting as well. But we're looking more at the college scene, a little bit of baseball conversation coming up. Ike Jones on the lines with us to talk a little bit about this Auburn team that had quite the fun weekend. It wasn't too much of a competition, but it's an SEC sweep, and that is always impressive. Ike, how you doing today, man?
I am doing pretty good. Listening to you guys earlier, I'm surprised nobody said boxing as far as the most rigged sport.
Okay, well, it really... Yeah, no.
I'm glad you were listening to that conversation, because the first hour was a lot about that side of the sport, and boxing could be one of them. Of course, a lot of the lower leagues have some implications with that, and even now with a lot of the betting on the top leagues, especially with a lot of these famous, I don't know, these YouTube stars getting into boxing as well. But I also forgot to bring up NASCAR. I feel like there's times when NASCAR seems the same way with guys winning in their home tracks, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning the same year, his dad passed. And I mean, I don't want to have to compare it to that, but
it happened.
It sounded similar to what's going on now.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do want to look at something that's not rigged, and that's the strength of this Auburn team. Okay, this season has been pretty good all the way through. They've won a majority of their series against SEC opponents. They've had 2 where they've gotten swept by Texas and Georgia, but I mean, it looks like things are kind of finishing out on the right foot. Talk a little bit about how this team has kind of held up throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an up and down situation. They looked really good early non-con, and then had a couple of slip ups in some of the midweek stuff. But the pitching has been kind of the thing that's shown the ebbs and flows, right? Like when they're pitching well, then they're doing really well, but the bats have come alive late in the season, and that's been the thing. And of course, we just talked about South Carolina; they beat the tar out of them.
Way to edit yourself there. We appreciate that.
Yeah. 24 in one game and then 11 in the other 2. Pretty impressive showing from the offense in that series, but it's been pretty good pretty much all season with the bats for Auburn, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I don't know how far this team can go, but they're definitely performing above what I think the expectations were coming into the year.
Yeah, no doubt. And of course, the roster did get revamped going into this season. One guy you bring in, Sam Dutton, he looks to be a stud throughout the entire time. 6-2 now at this point in the season. Talk about some of the additions on top of Sam Dutton that have really helped this team get through it.
I mean, it's the freshmen, right? Like, I mean, you can, of course, talk about a lot of things that are going on with the transfers, but the freshmen are really what I love. Bub Terrell, I think he's a really good player. You love what you're getting from Fralick, allowing another bat to get into the rotation and move Ike Irish out from behind the plate. And he's been a revelation for this team for sure. Guevara's been playing really well. Like I just love the way that Butch Thompson was able to flip this roster in a single season from a roster that was, last year was not really great by anybody's. I thought last year's team was going to be good, and they just were not. And this year's been kind of the exact opposite, where I thought, okay, maybe they'll be okay, but they're really young, really inexperienced. And they've done a really good job of just, like I said, flipping the roster in one season. If they can get some powerful arms in here in the next year, this team is poised to be good for a couple of years with the young bats that they have there.
Well, and you're also talking about the pitching and how good it has been. And I know that Heltzler has 7 saves, but he also has a 4.39 ERA, man. And I'm thinking to myself, I know you've struck out 22 guys in 26 innings, but I'm expecting more out of the closer spot of this, because that's a massive position and massive situations that you don't want to be giving up 4 runs every 9 innings.
Yeah, and well, that's been the issue the last couple of years, is that if they're not hitting the ball well, then they don't really have a shot in the games, because the pitching hasn't been dominant, particularly when you get to the bullpen. They've had decent starters. Other than Dutton, who you mentioned already, who came over from, it was LSU, if I'm not mistaken, that he transferred from. There's not really another guy that you would consider to be an ace on that squad, so you're going to have to kind of figure out how you get through those middle innings. And that's been kind of the issue, is that the bullpen hasn't been consistent enough for a guy like Armstrong comes in and he does fairly well. You like what you get from Carlson every now and then, but to your point, like, there's not just this, you're going to bring them in and they're going to shut them down out of the bullpen kind of guy. Like the ERAs from that bullpen are 4 and up for the vast majority of them. So it's just like, you got to score, and they've been finding a way to produce runs, and hopefully they can continue to do that. But that's why when you go against teams like Texas that has really good pitching, Auburn's just not able to figure out how to match them in that regard from their arms.
Yeah, and do you think maybe the atmosphere has kind of helped this team push forward? Of course, the road losses are pretty rough, but at home, this team feels really good. And on top of that, you get the renovations during the offseason, and it's almost like a totally different environment over there.
Yeah, listen, the investment from John Cohen in the athletic department in baseball, John Cohen's a baseball guy. Coming over from Mississippi State, and he's former, baseball coach, player, all that kind of stuff. So he understands what it is to build a championship level baseball program. And so they put the investment in there to really change the game day experience for fans out there. And I think you're seeing the dividends of that, just having a good ballpark to go and watch a game. And then the energy from the Auburn fan base is always good, regardless of the sport. If they show up, they're going to make it a really raucous environment for other teams to be in there with. And momentum happens in baseball too. I don't know if people really realize just the way that can kind of be a tidal wave for you. But yeah, the home environment definitely helps when you're in there and having to face that Auburn crowd.
It definitely seemed like momentum carried them in that game 1 on Thursday against South Carolina, 24-2. I feel like there's got to be some history made in that one. What do you know exactly about that 24-2 matchup? It's the biggest win I've seen of their season so far.
It's definitely I think it's the 3rd largest margin for Auburn in the history, or 3rd largest amount of runs scored in history by any team. And so, yeah, it was an absolute. I hate to say I feel bad for a team, but like 24-2 is that's embarrassing. Like, I don't even know. They did a good job in the second game of making it respectable, where it's like you didn't feel like it completely crushed their soul. But yeah, 24-2 is not. So you don't. That's one of those things where, like, if you were a guy talking about your playing days at South Carolina, you're just going to conveniently forget the fact that you were playing in that game.
So as you were talking about it, it's like that had to be some sort of record. I went, well, what is the most amount of runs that have been scored in the SEC so far this year? Because in Ole Miss scored 29 runs against Alcorn. The thing is that when you look at the top 10, there are 2 games that are SEC versus SEC. One of them is Auburn versus South Carolina with 24 runs. The other one is Florida
Is against South Carolina
versus South Carolina with 22
Yeah.
runs. Like, I'm just going, this is a South Carolina issue. This isn't an Auburn thing. This is a South Carolina issue.
Yeah, South Carolina's just not very good this year, which is crazy. I mean, that team was, we're like not even 6-7 seasons from them being like one of the best teams in the conference. And they have, the plummet that they have made as a program is, somebody's got to study that. I'm not by any means an expert on South Carolina baseball, but it is just amazing how bad they've become in a very short amount of time.
Mike Jones from the War Report is our guest, talking all things Auburn baseball as we continue on this conversation. And I do want to look forward to that Auburn-Ole Miss matchup, because this is going to be a little bit tougher. But again, we were talking before the show, like obviously South Carolina, not the best competition, but you still get the sweep. And I also told you about this Missouri versus Texas A&M matchup. I mean, anything can truly happen. But what are you seeing in this Auburn versus Ole Miss matchup that is something to keep an eye on?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to, again, can Auburn generate runs? Now, one of the things I loved, and didn't mention it, but in that second game, how they won in walk-off fashion with the suicide squeeze there at the end, which, by the way, probably should not have happened because that was an absolutely horrendous fielding situation for South Carolina at the end of that game. Like, just got to know the situation there. But the ability to just kind of generate runs via some small ball stuff, I think Butch's ability to just kind of do that at certain points during games where they can get base runners on, trying to advance guys with bunts, or I think that's going to be something that Auburn's really going to have to do against the Ole Miss, because it's not going to, I don't expect, a 21 run outburst in this series versus. If they do that versus Ole Miss, then those bats have just become lethal.
Yeah.
But
in Oxford, I mean, let's just hold our wait until that. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so you're going to have to, but they're going to have to generate runs. I'm not sold on the Auburn bullpen yet on their ability to just dominate games. And maybe somebody proves me wrong here, but they're going to have to put up some runs in order to make it happen versus Ole Miss. And I think that they can, because Ole Miss has been susceptible to giving up some runs here and there. And really, they just need to get one. I don't even know if you have to win this series, but they can't get swept in this one. And I do think that Auburn has an opportunity to go in there, maybe even steal two from them.
So we're talking about now getting to that point of having a successful tournament in Hoover next week. We're talking about the regional play, those sort of things. And one thing that isn't talked about a lot, obviously, because we do focus so much on home runs, is going to be the speed on the base pass. Because I know with Ike Irish, he's got 10 stolen bases. Obviously, he also has 13 home runs. But then you also have a couple of other guys on this team that has that speed, that they're in double digits in steals. None of the three are in the top 15 in the SEC in stolen bases, but they all have that speed. Is this team, when you're talking about the offense, how much of it is connected to how they run the bases?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said generating base runners and Bruce, I was trying to say Bruce, God Lord, I'm still in basketball season. Butch's ability to, play a little small ball every now and then and just make pitchers nervous with guys on base is going to be a thing. They've just got to get guys on base. Now, they haven't been phenomenal with runners in scoring position. They've left a lot of base runners out there this season. But I think it changes the complexion of the game if they can figure out how to just make those pitchers have to pitch from the stretch a little bit more. But the base runners absolutely are going to impact the game, because whether it's stolen bases or stretching out something that was a routine single into a double type of thing and put yourself in scoring position, Auburn has the ability to do that.
So in doing that and saying that, now you get into regional play, and you mentioned this earlier because obviously Sam Dutton is the obvious ace. You've got a couple of other guys that are going to be your weekend starters, but you need at least three guys that that you can put on the mound that's going to get you through at least regional play. Then you start getting into a bunch of best of twos or best of threes. Do you think that the Auburn pitching staff has that ability to get through a regional based on their starting pitching?
I worry about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure. And again, I think it's going to be, and I hate to put it on the offense. I think they've just got to go score runs, man. Like, I don't know that they've got three, and even with Dutton, right? Dutton is the lowest ERA arm on the in starting lineup, but he's given up quite a few home runs this year, right? Like, so it's not like he can't be smacked around a little bit out there. And so I think that the thing for those starters is getting through 4 or 5 innings and keeping it low, and then just less innings that you're going to put on that bullpen, I think the better for Auburn. I'm not sold on them having the arms to be able to make a big run, because I think you kind of have to have at least 2 guys that you can go to, and with Dutton being kind of like 1 and a half of one, like I wouldn't even like to say he's an ace. He's the best arm, but he's not like overpowering you like you've seen some of these guys around the conference be in the last couple of years. But he's got good stuff though. Like, I don't want to disrespect Dutton. I think he's a really good pitcher, but I'm not sure that they have the starting pitching to be able to do it.
We're talking with Ike Jones from the War Report. And, of course, before you get into the Ole Miss, before you get into, the SEC tournament, you got to go up against the Jack State. And, of course, Jack State in the area, a lot of people fans of them, and their baseball team, no slouch either. What would you like to see this team kind of perfect before they move on to face off their final SEC opponent of the season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really about that bullpen once again for them. It's just finding some guys in there that can get you 2 or 3 innings maybe, and not having to do a lot of. That's one thing I don't know that I've loved is kind of the way that the pitching rotation has been for Auburn. Sometimes it's been curious as to leaving a guy in there too long, not letting the guy stay in that seems like they're pitching really well because they're trying to do an arm versus a hitter type of thing, or they want to get a lefty in versus, that kind of thing. But I think they just need to kind of solidify what they're going to do situationally and let some guys work through some stuff sometimes in that game if they can. But listen, the fan in me wants them to just go out there and put up a bunch of runs and not have to worry about all that tinkering stuff. But we'll see what happens.
Now, probable starter for today is going to be another freshman, Andreas Alvarez. So that is going to be something to keep an eye on. And he talked about at the beginning, too, a lot of freshmen on this team. I believe they turned over 21 new players on this team throughout the offseason.
Well, and Ike, this is now you're getting to the point, especially with these midweek games, that this is where you're going to figure out are one of these freshmen going to be the ones that's going to start for us in Hoover? Are we going to have one of these freshmen that may have to pitch in an elimination game coming up in a couple of weeks? Like this midweek stuff, and you're talking about these midweek starters, that's where they start to figure out, especially at this point in time of year, whoever's hot, that's who you potentially go with on a Sunday championship game. Like that's the kind of things you look for.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this Auburn pitching staff has to figure out something. And I don't think that it's a little late in the year, but I don't know that they have that picture quite figured out yet. And that's the thing I worry about the absolute most getting into this time of the year. Like you said, it's like, basketball, you shrink your rotations. You're not going to play 10 guys. It's like now it's 4. It's, maybe a 5th if we have to. I don't know if they figured out who those guys are going to be. Maybe somebody steps up that hasn't had the opportunity. But there's nothing that I've seen where I say to myself, that's absolutely going to be an arm that they can turn to. Some really good stuff. It's really more about control, I think, sometimes with those guys and trying to figure out how to throw strikes when they just have to. And the strikeout pitches are pretty good for most of the guys, but when you're against a patient team, and you're going to see this a little bit even with this Jack State game, they got some patient batters in there. Like, are you going to be able to just throw strikes and make them respected a little bit in the strike zone?
No, you're right about this, and I think that this is where a lot of people want to throw away a midweek game and all this. This is where you really start to work on things. Yeah. This really is.
No doubt about that. And Ike, before we get you out of here, since I love pissing Joe off, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Last year, we met, of course, at SEC Media Days in Dallas, and we got to see Peyton Thorne come up to the table. We got to talk a lot of with him. It's a great kid to talk to. Now transitioning to the new year, Jackson Arnold is going to be that guy. Do you see Jackson Arnold going to SEC Media Days and acting as one of those leaders, or do you think it might be one of the guys that's already been there?
That is an excellent question. We've talked about this a little bit on the show. I almost feel like if he is, which he is, the cemented starter, you almost have to send him.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can show confidence in your starting quarterback that you've made the decision that he is going to be the guy and not let him get up in front of the media and talk. He needs to be one of the vocal leaders of the team, whether or not he's a team captain voted by your quarterback needs to be a guy that's representing you.
Don't do it.
So
I'm telling you.
I think that you kind of have to. If they don't, then that'll be a whole other conversation that we have to talk about. Like, why is Jackson Arnold not going to media days? He's definitely the starter. What's going on?
The reason he wouldn't be going is because he feels like he needs to be back at Auburn working with his wide receivers instead of going to something like SEC Media Days. Similar to if you don't want to go to arguably the biggest passing academy and event in quarterback football when it comes to this.
Oh my God!
I didn't hate that. I did not hate his decision to not go to that this year because he's still trying to build that chemistry. Media Days is different though. Like it's literally they're gonna freaking fly probably from Auburn to Atlanta for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that they don't want to deal with traffic. It's gonna be 7-8 hours out of your life. Go do it and make it happen. So.
Those 7 or 8 hours is the difference of them beating Alabama and not that. So it's going to be important that he stays. Who am I kidding? They're not beating him. So it's going to be important. Like I'm just coming up with some dumb excuse that Hugh Freeze would come up with.
Like, this is what's great about this. Joe is the Auburn fan. I'm the Alabama fan, and I believe more in Jackson Arnold than he does, just because he's been hurt so many times by this guy.
I'm not kidding. I'm not joking with you. I was at an event after the whole Peyton Manning, the Manning Passing Academy stuff didn't go. And I went off on the air about how god awful Jackson Arnold is. And I had Oklahoma fans walking up to me, just patting me on the back and go, "It's going to be okay, brother. It's only one season." And I'm like, dude, you're not making me feel better right now. They're like, "Oh no, everything you said on the air was spot on. It's just, trust me on this. I'm already patting you on the back because I understand what you're about to go through." And I'm like, "Oh, don't do this to me."
Ike, you got to help the Auburn fan in the room. Has he shown that he is meshing with this organization a little bit more than we've seen in the past? He's still young. I mean, come on, Joe.
Yeah, because he's in college.
He's going to be okay. The thing about Jackson Arnold is going to be for me is, and this is why I didn't hate the Manning Academy thing, is does he have the confidence to let it rip? Because that's it. That was his biggest thing. If you go back and watch his games at Oklahoma, it was more about his lack of confidence to just let it fly. And that was honestly the big thing for Peyton Thorne too. If you go back and watch the tape, it's like, can you just have some confidence in guys that they're going to be where they need to be and just let it fly? The thing about Jackson Arnold, though, is he can afford to wait a little bit longer than Peyton Thorne could because he's got a stronger arm. And then the other thing with him is just holding on to the freaking football when he's getting rocked, and hopefully a better offensive line this year than what Oklahoma's kind of patchwork quilt of offensive line was with all the injuries that they had, will allow him to be able to take a few less hits and not have to worry about that this year.
I definitely think that is the case. I think that Auburn's got a little bit more of a stout team when it comes to SEC play, and I think that Jackson Arnold's going to find himself at a good home. But Ike, we appreciate you as always. Tell the people where they can find not your home, but your home for all things sports and Auburn athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. We are on YouTube at The War Report. That's THEWAPPORT. For rapport. Did I just spell that wrong? Oh my God. WARRAPPORT.
And you emphasized it.
Yeah, I did. I paused and I was like, wait a minute. I feel like I'm not saying enough letters here. What's happening? Anyway, but I am TWR Ike Jones on Twitter, and then you can find us at The War Report on all those spaces out there as well.
There you go. Well, you're not an Eagles fan, so you'll never do that again. So unless are you like what's your NFL team? Do you have one?
No, I'm a Niners fan, and that's been painful as well. So.
I gotcha. Well, we just had a segment on that a few days ago. I think that the Niners are cursed, but I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure.
Listen, man, if you go through the pain of the Super Bowls that the Niners went through in those runs, and then the NFC Championship pain, I don't know. I'm almost in that cursed situation. I'm like, all right, can we just get out of our own way? Like,
well,
I don't know. I don't know what portion of a demonic deal they did to have Joe Montana and Steve Young's success that they're now paying back to the universe, but it has been brutal.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to get you on for that type of conversation later down the road. But appreciate you as always, Ike. You have a wonderful rest of your week, man.
All right, man. You guys have a good day.
Good stuff. Ike Jones from the War Report. Go and check him out. He's got all you need to know on Auburn athletics and apparently a little bit of the 49ers as well.
Yes. I'm just glad Jackson Arnold has a strong arm so that he can hold those resumes when he hands them out after the season.
Take it to break. When we come back, final segment of the Blitz. You're able to hop in 256-576-97.7 here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
The sound of the organ, the crack of the bat. It is gone. The sight of watching the ball go over the wall, and the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it. It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Coming up on Saturday, May 17th, it's the Colts Mayday Bass Tournament out of Joe Wheeler State Park to benefit the Clements High School Booster Club. The Colts Booster Association exists to make sure that the athletes at Clements High have what they need to perform at their best. And this is a great, fun way to support the program. Blast-off is at Safe Flight with the weigh-in at 2. An entry fee is just $100 per boat. The guaranteed payoff for first place is $1,500 with a side pot for big fish as well. Learn more at coltsboosterassociation.org.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo. You know, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Final segment, best segment.
Last segment.
Yeah, same thing. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, WCCN TV. Appreciate Ike Jones hopping on with us from the War Report just to talk a little bit about Auburn baseball. And then John just decided he wanted to twist the knife into my gut.
You loved it.
No, I hate it. Yes. I mean, come on now.
Well, real quick, you know what you would love? Miami quarterback Carson Beck is good to go for summer workouts.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Miami fans seem good to go in September. That's what they need him to be good to go for. Maybe the beginning of or end of August. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And speaking of that time, that is apparently when this ESPN app, they want to call it DTC launch, but I mean, everybody does DTC, so it sounds weird to even say that.
What is DTC?
Direct to consumer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that means. There is one cool feature that I'm going to be very interested in. It is a customized sports center where it is based on the teams and the games that you watch. So for us, we watch a lot of Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Braves, those types. There will be a sports center that apparently is supposed to be through AI created to give you updates on your teams and the rivals connected to your teams.
Knew that it would be AI. Something to do with AI.
That interests me because that's the reason I don't watch sports centers, because you never talk about what I'm interested in.
Well, now are we going to get weeded out because of this?
No.
Is AI going to replace us?
Is AI going to be able to know about what Jim from the Red Elephant Club is doing?
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong. Either way, 22 hours. We'll be back. Tom Abraham live from Baumhauer's coming up next.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again